When I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, all the doctor said basically was, I've got bad news for you. You have Alzheimer's and you've lost your driver's license. There was no, what can I do about it?
That was 8 years ago. And ever since, Ron Robert has made it his mission to fight Alzheimer's and the stigma that goes with it.
Us old people, well, for a lot of people in our society, we're now disposable. And that's how a lot of us older people get to think after a while. But I'm out here to prove that we're not disposable, that we can still contribute.
Today, Ron has brought his message to this nursing class at Fanshawe College in London, Ontario. He has advice for them on dealing with people like himself.
Take that 5 minutes to make that patient feel at home. Feel like the doctor wants to know your sympathy, your symptoms.
Now I'm here to follow Ron and see what I can learn, not just about what it's like to live with Alzheimer's, but from someone who spends every day trying to hold the disease back.
Be there. I'm clapping for you. It's not about me. It's about you, all of you out there. You make me so cotton picking proud. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you. Thank you. When I was diagnosed, right away I thought, okay, I know I've got it now. It's certain. And it's a progressive disease.
Right.
I'm not going to just sit on my butt and let it take over my life. I want to live a full life with or without Alzheimer's.
So Ron decided to do something he'd never done before. At 80, to challenge his brain, he went to university. And what I learned when I go to the library at King's University College with him is that Ron has made an impression.
Oh, look at all these wonderful young people. Oh, I'm so glad to see all you guys. Give me a big hug. I just love being on campus with you guys.
We love having you here.
I've enjoyed it so much, you know.
Have you?
Oh, you guys have no idea how much you've helped me. Sometimes I'm walking around and I get lost. That's one of the symptoms I have for Alzheimer's, is that my sense of direction has gotten all screwed up.
My grandma deals with Alzheimer's and dementia
Oh,
as well.
does she?
And just from personal experience, I know how difficult and overwhelming that can be. So it's truly inspiring, you know, what you've been able to accomplish.
When I first got diagnosed, not only did I want to help myself, but I wanted to help other people with Alzheimer's.
He is not letting his illness overtake his life, and instead he's inspiring others. I've struggled with my mental health in the past, and so I went into social work to break barriers myself and to show that illnesses don't hold you back, and to hear another story from a separate generation of, you know, you're not alone in this fight.
It's certainly possible for us to do this.
It took 5 years of hard work, and Ron graduated. He says university helped him. And there are studies that show that staying socially and mentally active as we age may lower the risk of cognitive decline. Ron plans to start up classes again in January. The other thing I learned spending time with Ron is how much he relies on his wife of 30 years, Catherine. In a way, she's become his short-term memory.
What worries you about the future?
When he doesn't recognize myself and his children. I know that that's one of the things that he has, and he's living well, is that when he doesn't recognize me or his children, he would like to be able to, you know, get the needle and be, you know, taken care of.
Until that day arrives, Ron says he'll be as active as he can be. He won't shy away from his Alzheimer's. In fact, the disease has brought him closer to an old friend of his, who he visits in a long-term care home. Keith Duncan, or Dunk as Ron knows him, has Alzheimer's as well.
Oh, this is a nice little room. I don't remember this room. So what kind of skin is this? Is that a rabbit?
I don't know.
It feels like rabbit.
It's funny you think that I know all.
Yeah, you did know all that. You've forgotten it all.
But I've forgotten.
Do you remember we were here the other day?
No, what the hell were you doing here?
No, we were just sitting here talking. You see, we were talking now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So many times we get
Yeah, exactly.
Tired up and don't know what we're doing or what we're
Well,
saying.
you and I have the same symptoms because you have no short memory, and I have no short memory.
Tell me what it means that Ron comes to visit you here.
We're all buddies. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we weren't buddies, we wouldn't be sitting in one damn room talking. You know.
What's it like to live with Alzheimer's?
Don't live, because it's kind of puzzling. For you, in your own life, whatever you do, you don't know exactly whether to turn right or left or ball or anything.
Does it scare you, the disease?
No, because it's me. It's in me. I can't help it. I don't even think about it. No, I don't know about it because I don't think about it.
Oh, that was a good visit. I enjoyed that visit. He did really well.
Yeah?
Yeah, he did super, because usually he does not talk to people.
What does it do for you to come here?
It's good for both of us. He feels good, I feel good, and I think that's what it's all about. And I recognize him as a person and not as an Alzheimer's person, but strictly as a person. I feel like it's almost like a responsibility when I get up in the morning. I've got a day ahead of me. I have to do something with that day. That day's a gift. That's every day of my life. I'm not going to outlive Alzheimer's. It's going to get me. But I'm going to give it one hell of a run.
Nick Purdon, CBC News, London, Ontario.
Good night.
The number of Canadians living with dementia will triple over the next 30 years, according to the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. But there have been advances when it comes to treatment and management. Dr. Samir Sinha is the Director of Geriatrics at Mount Sinai and the University Health Network in Toronto, and he joins us from Costa Rica tonight. Dr. Sinha, there's currently no cure for Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia, but what should families keep in mind in terms of treatment?
Right now, the main forms of treatment are trying to get an early diagnosis and then knowing that one can still get connected to lots of supports and services that can help people maintain their level of independence overall. So while we're still doing a lot of research to find cures and treatments, we still want people to get diagnosed early so we can try and find good ways of supporting them to stay healthy and independent.
And what are some of those early signs that people and their families should be watching for?
Some of the early signs, Ian, are memory loss, trouble concentrating, maybe finding it harder to do daily tasks, sometimes mood changes, and sometimes not remembering where you are or what time of day it is. So if you have those early signs, good to see a healthcare provider to see whether this could be an early sign of dementia or something that you can actually get treated.
And we saw in the story how Ron relies on his wife, Catherine, and I guess that's a reminder of the weight of Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia on caregivers.
Yeah, and the Alzheimer's Society of Canada says that the average family caregiver spends 26 hours a week providing that care. So we have to remind ourselves that there can be other things to support them, such as financial supports, but also making sure that we have home care and other resources that can allow people like Kathy to take a bit of a break and also get that extra support to help her continue to provide care to allow Ron to live at home for as long as possible.
All right, Dr. Sinha, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Ian.